Welcome. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, making your YouTube feed a lot more tasty on a budget. As you know, the core mission of TSR is to bring Hollywood home on a budget, but it also applies to slices of internet heaven that we find every so often. Ask anyone who's often stuck in a rut as to what to whip up for dinner tonight, and they'll tell you more often than not that BuzzFeed's Tasty is just one of those slices of heaven from the interwebs, with recipes to make your Pinterest followers sing and make your Instagram followers, if you have them, rejoice. If this looks familiar to you, then you're probably onto something, because this just so happens to be the second copy of Tasty, the cookbook, that I purchased for the same price as the first copy, $2.99. It might seem obvious if you watched the first review, but I'll tell you again briefly. No two copies of Tasty, the cookbook, are the same. At the time that this is available for purchase online, you can customize Tasty, the cookbook, to your own taste or those of your peeps. Or in this instance, those of that special peep in your life. This copy of Tasty, quote-unquote, the cookbook, was conceived by Matthew as a Valentine's Day gift to his Tara. Or Tara. Girlfriend, wife, fiancé, whatever. Either he is a big BuzzFeed fan and knows how to cook, or vice versa, but I think this copy is equally worth highlighting, even though it doesn't contain, like the first one, a chapter all about their collaborations with NBC's Today's Show. What it does contain, however, are recipes that you can make in the slow cooker, some highlights from 2017, recipes involving bacon. I don't care what cookbook you happen to find and customize online, and you include a chapter with bacon, that certainly makes it a fail-safe cookbook. A chapter on Southwestern cooking, which I will highlight momentarily. A chapter all about cookies, some fried foods, and bites. Fried and otherwise. For those out of the loop, let me give you the rundown on how to customize Tasty the Cookbook. You can go to BuzzFeed's Tasty website and choose 7 recipe chapters, and from there on, choose 7 recipes to highlight per chapter, for a total of 49 recipes. You can categorize them any which way you choose, from the requisite appetizers, main dishes, and desserts, stuff of the nature, or you can really let your imagination run wild, and choose some of these recipe categories, or categories from the first copy, which I for sure will link below if you want to check it out. But for now, let's go ahead and highlight some Southwestern recipes. And why? Because even though we're still in spring, summertime weather is just over the horizon. Therefore, we need some bolder, some livelier, some more summerier, if that's even a word, flavors, not just in our cooking, but in our everyday life. Matthew has chosen the following 7 recipes for this chapter. 7-layer dip cups, spicy Southwestern-style turkey burgers, pulled pork nachos, Southwestern chopped salad with avocado dressing, grilled fajita skewers, a chili lime-baked tilapia with avocado crema, and Southwest chicken pasta bake. These 7 recipes and the other recipes featured in here are all chock full of photographs. Some of them, one whole photograph of the finished product, and some other photographs, step-by-step photographs of the recipe being constructed and cooked, etc. So, what this has going for it over the other copy is that, well, it has bacon recipes. And again, that generally makes any cookbook a fail-safe one. Foolproof. From a pop culture point of view, this is slightly less epic because, well, there's no pop culture related recipes in here. And aside from the Today's Show, there was also a recipe in here that was made by kid behind the camera, Michael Green, Pickle Boy, the offspring of the late Amy Grandpa. So I had to include that clip. And if he decides to take it down, well, that's gonna be his problem. But other than that, this copy is a pretty solid one, and I gotta give a big tip of the toe to Matt on that. Especially knowing that this was a Valentine's Day gift. And as you know, the way to anyone's heart is through their stomachs. It's not the ultimate way, but it certainly is one of the most foolproof ways. Tasty the Cookbook, and its many, many copies that were created over the course of a couple of years or so, is the same in one sense. That it has recipes that will tingle your taste buds, but no introduction, and no random proclamations from BuzzFeed staffers exclaiming how amazing the recipes are. And I gotta say, when it comes to the word amazing, that pretty much is the most generic adjective to use in any recipe. Heck, you can whip up a box of crap macaroni and cheese and call it amazing. Unless you're a kid, you know darn well it's not. But if you want to try to, channel your inner kid inside, then by all means go ahead. This is certainly a level up, even though it doesn't contain mac and cheese. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 claps. A job well done to Matt on such an excellent effort. While I can't necessarily link Tasty the cookbook below because this is no longer active and you can't customize it anymore online, I certainly will be reviewing Tasty latest and greatest, desserts, and adulting, all 3 at once in a special video which you will see down the line. In the meantime, I certainly hope, because of Matthew's efforts, that this gift was graciously and gratefully received by this terror. Because after all, the moral of this review and of this story is this, and that especially applies to you single guys out there.
Learn how to cook quickly.
Amen to that, Roger. Because at the end of the day, the payoff will be more than buzzworthy. Thanks for watching TSR. Now, to see another awesome review like this one, click here. If you want to become a Hollywood bargain hunter, click here to subscribe. Now catch you on the thrift side.